Hello, 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 my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. And folks, hold on to your hats because it's time for liftoff.
T minus 10,
9,
8,
8,
7,
7. Countdown
6,
with me.
5,
4.
3,
Esto es para niveles básicos.
1, 0. Ignition.
Here we go, folks.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. It's the show. Let's go.
Hello, hello, amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. You guessed it, folks. We've got an action-packed show for you here on Vaughn Radio, where we've been at this time slot for the last 14 years. And there have been many, many schedule changes, cambios la programación. But there are some mainstays. And even their programs have changed, their time slot on the schedule. But people such as David Boyes, Guy Williams, I mean, these guys are the OGs of Vaughn Radio. And what is an OG? An OG is an original gangster. And folks, you know what? They're going to be there at our trivia night, which is now less than 4 days away. It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights, and it's hosted by moi. Do you want to have fun? Do you want to practice your English? Do you want to be challenged? Do you want to meet your Vaughn Radio teachers? Do you want to mingle with your classmates? Do you want to give me $1 million? No! Oh, sorry. I just slipped that last one in there. Hey, it can't hurt to try. All joking aside, join us Wednesday, November 2nd at 8:30 p.m. at Roll Madrid. If you want to have fun, practice your English, be challenged, meet your favorite Vaughn Radio teachers, mingle with your classmates, and yeah, if you want to give me $1 million, that's okay too. Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights, hosted by yours truly, un servidor. See you on Wednesday, November 2nd at 8:30 p.m. Let's do this. That's right, folks. Let's do this. Let's do this like we never knew this. You know, we love to rhyme stuff in English. Well, you do it too in Spanish, right? El que se fue a Sevilla perdió su silla. And what we say in English, very similar. You snooze, you lose. Si duermes, pierdes. So, we try and be cute. We try and be funny and rhyme things as well. One that rhymes in both languages, which blows my mind because you don't see this very often. But one of these expressions is, you say in Spanish, más pedo que Alfredo. It means somebody's very drunk, right? Va más pedo que Alfredo. I get it. I don't know any Alfredos who drink, but I get the rhyming thing. Well, we say he's as drunk as a skunk. Ahora, ¿mofetas beben? I don't know. I don't have any friends that are skunks, so I couldn't tell you anything about their behavior. But I imagine they don't drink alcohol. Not too many bars in the forest. And where I grew up, guys, skunks are like a real thing. I don't think are there skunks in Spain? ¿Tenéis mofetas? Because where I remember, we would know, believe me, you would know if somebody hit a skunk with the car because it would stink. I mean, it would stink for miles. So I don't think I've ever smelled, now that I'm thinking about it, I've been in Spain for over 15 years now. And for the life of me, I don't think I've ever smelt a skunk here. Oh, that's interesting. Do you guys have skunks? Maybe in some parts of Spain. I know Spain's being such a diverse region, you've got deserts, you've got many, many different ecosystems. All right, amigos, we've got an awesome program. I'm going to put you to the test today. We're going to play, we're going to learn English, and we're going to have fun as we always do. So are you ready for your first challenge? It's time for today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. It is our pop quiz. And as always, this is just one challenge. But you know what? Since the rest of the challenges on the show are prepared by me, well, I figured why not, borrow, tomar prestado, why not borrow some content from my friends? And I do that. And it's a great way to also talk about their programs. Now, today we're going to talk about my buddy, Kyle Miller. You guys know Kyle Miller. He's much more than just a coworker. He's a great friend of mine. I've known him for over a decade, and he's a great teacher, great person, and he's going to be at the trivia night, by the way. In fact, I need to start, guys, I'm going to set a reminder, un recordatorio. I should start preparing it. I mean, I'm promoting the crap out of it, but I don't even have one question prepared. Uh-oh. What am I waiting for? I like to put it off to the last minute. It's more exciting that way. No, I'll work on it this weekend, and hopefully by Monday I'll have something that resembles, something that resembles a trivia. Guys, if you can come. It's free, and it's going to be, as far as I know, just counting my family, my students, and my friends who are going to be attending, there'd be a lot of us there. I would say right now, about 40, 50 people. If everybody shows up, you never know. Someone could get sick and they're like, oh, all 4 of us aren't coming because the kids are... No problem. But we'd love to see you there if you can make it. Again, it's November 2nd at Roll Madrid, Calle Amaniel 23. And it's tons of fun. If you've never been to one of these, you got to come. And also, we're going to do something that we haven't done before, and that is live stream it. And to live stream, hacerlo en directo like we do here on the show. So stay tuned, and I'll give you more information. And in fact, remember, I just told you we have a countdown over here. Let's take a look at this countdown. I put it up this morning. 5 days, 9 hours, and 46 minutes until the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. So if you guys want to get in on the action, meterte en el ajo, meterte en lo que está pasando, if you want to get in on the action, come on by on November 2nd. Get there. Remember, it's starting at 8:30, but I highly recommend that you get there around 8 because we need to put together teams. So get there as close to 8 as you can. And also, because if you come in at 8:45, then I'm going to put you on whatever team is left. Oh, aquí hay un hueco, te meto ahí. But if you get there at 8, I'll be like, oh, I will reward you for getting there a little bit early. So hey, Fitz, are you looking for a couple more team members? Yeah, sure. And you want to be on Fitz's team. Trust me. He's really good. But again, I'm going to try and do something I always do. And that is create questions, sound bites, the celebrity section for all ages. So when I'm coming up with the questions, I'm always thinking to myself, okay, if this is something that somebody in Richard Vaughn's age group will know, well, then the next question is going to be more for like younger, like 20, 30 something. So I'm always thinking of that. And then you're going to get a little bit of everything, like the show with no name. You're going to get a little bit of geography, you're going to get a lot of music, because that's what we do. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing all of you there. It's going to be the 2nd of November. And if you can't make it, we'll see you on the live stream. We'll give you an inside look at what goes down. ¿Qué ocurre? All right. So what does Kyle Miller have in store for us today? Well, I'm not too sure on the drive time program. You'll have to tune in this evening. But we're going to look at a translation that he looked at on the show recently. Let's take a look at it. Creo que no vale la pena. That's it. Creo. It's an important, sentence to know. Vale la pena, no vale la pena. I mean, this is something we use pretty often. So I think it's easy, but let's see. Let's see how you guys do it. Creo que no vale la pena. That is the translation. It's a part of Kyle Miller's show, Drive Time. All right, let's take a look. Also, we've got a lot of people checking in here in our chat room, nuestro chateo, our virtual classroom. And let's see what you guys have to say about life. Elena says, I hope Lara gets better. Thank you. She's still, oh man, poor kid. She's been sick for over a week now, and she's on antibiotics. But thank you for your concern. Jay Lima, good morning, Double A. What is up? What's up, Jay Lima? Great to have you on board. There's my dad. And as I said, he's on this side of the pond now. He's in Spain. So he's finally on our timetable here. My dad says, good morning, Alberto and friends and family. Greetings from Agua Dulce, Spain. Catching up after a very, very long flight. Nice to be home again. Yeah, Spain is awesome. I love the USA. Believe me, I love my country. But I live here for a reason. Born to Iron Man says, morning, folks. TGIF. What's up, buddy? Lupe says, morning, guys. Rise and shine. Arriba. Ya por ellos. There's a totally native for you, Lupe. Born to Iron Man says, good morning, Don Diego, and welcome to your home, your homeland, como la serie, tu patria. That's right. There's Pink Mouse DJ saying, good morning, folks. What's up? Let's see. Jay Lima says, let's go Hong Kong. Jay, it went over my head. No lo capte. I don't know what you mean. Born to Iron Man says, pop quiz. Let's get on it. Oh, yeah. There's a nice totally native. Vamos a ello, right? Also, let's get it on, which can have a sexual meaning too. Just listen to the song. It's Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. German says, we have possums in Mexico. Some people think they're disgusting. I sometimes think they're cute. Yeah, zarigüeya, you say, right? Possum. I don't know. The good thing about possums is they don't let out a stench, right? They don't let out a stench, una peste. Pink Mouse DJ says, I'm sure you'll pull the chestnuts out of the fire. Well, you guys are coming at me left and right here with expressions. Henry says, how do you pronounce infrastructure? There you go. All right, let's take a look. I see we've got some people who are participating here in our challenge, our pop quiz that Kyle Miller has prepared for you. Let's see. The challenge, the translation was, creo que no vale la pena. And I can't help it. No lo puedo evitar. Every time I hear valer la pena, I think of Mark Anthony. Valió la pena lo que era necesario para estar contigo, amor. Eres una bendición. Oh, I love Mark. I heard his last concert in Madrid was not great, but I'm glad I didn't go. I missed it. So Born to Iron Man is the first one to participate. And let's see what he has to say. He says, I don't think it's worth it. That's correct. Great job. Hola, hola, caracola. Showing us another way to say it. And hola, hola, caracola says, I reckon it is not worth it. All right. There's Jay Plante. Morning to you too. Let's see. Elena, I don't think it's worth it. Great. I don't think it's worth it. Oh, so many of you guys got it. Wow, guys. A nice round of applause. Lo que no veo es que nadie ha puesto worthwhile, right? Worthwhile. So it's not worth it or it's not worthwhile. Hey, just another way to say it. Una palabra, worthwhile. Another very native way, it doesn't pay. I don't think it pays. It doesn't pay to do that, right? Como el verbo pagar, but it means no vale la pena. It might seem like a good idea, but I don't think it pays. That's a very, very native way of saying no vale la pena o vale la pena, right? Using the verb to pay. A ver si alguien, lo bueno es que todos controláis el worth it, because a lot of people say it is worth or it's not worth. La estructura is to be worth it or to be worthwhile or to pay. I remember we had a campaign and I don't remember when I was a kid, and it said crime doesn't pay, right? So básicamente el crimen, hacer delitos, right? No vale la pena, right? No te sale a cuentas. No te sale a cuenta. I think that would be a good translation. It doesn't pay. I wouldn't do that. It doesn't pay, right? Very, very, very native way. Again, if you guys are in English class, drop that way of saying it, and your teacher's going to be like, how the did you know that? All right. We've also got Roberto checking in from Ecuador. Wow. That is magical. Not only that he's checking in from the equator, que es el Ecuador, la línea, but he says, Loja y Hoja. So forgive my ignorance here, Roberto. Greetings from Loja, Ecuador. Here it is 3:40 a.m., and you know what? That is dedication. That is drive, motivación. Roberto, that applause is yours. He goes, I like a lot your program. I got to stop you there, pero es un error muy común. Se podría decir, I like your program a lot, pero quieres saber cómo yo lo diría siendo más natural y sin tanta vuelta. I really like your program. We use really very often here. So, porque mucha gente no sabe, dice, pongo la lot aquí, pero al fin, tiene que ir al final. So it would say, I like ice cream a lot, not I like a lot ice cream. But the easiest and more native way to say it is I really like ice cream. Jot it down, not just Roberto, everybody. It's a kind of a shortcut and you'll sound more native. Let's see. We've got Marta checking in as well. Can't start without Marta. She says, good morning, guys. TGIF. Oh, and there's Elena pulling it out of pop culture, sacándolo de la cultura popular. L'Oreal, because you're worth it. Is it L'Oreal or is it Pantene? Pantene? Because I'm worth it. I don't know. Now I'm confused. Well, the slogan worked well, but if you don't remember the brand. So yeah, maybe it is L'Oreal. I trust you, Elena. If you say it's L'Oreal, because you're worth it, porque lo vales. Hey, you can learn even from slogans. Let's see. We've got You Channel. What's up, You Channel? Hello from Aranjuez. Oh, awesome. Aranjuez. Beautiful, beautiful place. A historic place as well. And a stone's throw from Madrid. A tiro de piedra. A stone's throw, o otra forma muy, muy nativa, a hop, skip, and a jump. O sea, un brinco, un saltito y tal, y has llegado. A hop, skip, and a jump. Unless you take Tren de la Fresa, que pita más que... ¿Cómo va la expresión? La aprendí el otro día. Que pita there's an expression for el tren de la fresa. I've taken it. I have a video. Go to my YouTube. There's a video of me explaining train vocabulary and all of that stuff. But it was amazing. I love trains. I love engineering. I love planes and trains. Cars, not really my thing. But trains, oh man, they're cool. So that is a wonder. If any of you have get the chance, I'm sure many of you have done it, el tren de la fresa, which goes from Madrid to Aranjuez. And when you get there, you got some beautiful, lovely, juicy berries, not just strawberries. Hombre, lo llaman el tren de la fresa, but I remember eating some wonderful raspberries there, blackberries, blueberries, cranberries. Do you know who I'm starting to sound like? Who do I sound like? Let's see. We're going to see if we have any movie buffs over here. Who do I sound like right now? You remember Forrest Gump? Do you remember Bubba? Shrimp stew, shrimp gumbo, garlic shrimp, coconut shrimp. Folks, I think it's time for a new section. Well, not a new section, but a new section today because we haven't hit it yet. It's called Say What? Say what? What? That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our Say What soundbite only on the show with no name. Here's where you're going to hear a famous person's voice. You're going to hear it 4 times, and I want you to write down word for word what you heard. Initially, I want your feedback. I want your observations in your best English. All right? Don't let me down. Jay Lima, this is a great question. Jay Lima says, hey, can we say this is worthless? Yeah, but it's different. Okay, because no vale la pena, it's no vale la pena hacerlo, right? But it's worthless means like this pen is worthless. It's got no ink. Ya no le queda tinte. So it's no tiene valor. It's a little bit different, right? But it's a good question there. Also, another way of expressing that a very, very, very native way of saying no sirve de nada, or no vale la pena. There's no point in, right? There's no point in doing that. It's pointless to do that. No sirve de nada, which is similar to no vale la pena, but we use that a lot. It's pointless to argue with her, right? There's no point in arguing with them. No sirve de nada. Excellent structure. If you have not used it, write it down. And as always, come up with your own examples. There's German over here, and he goes, Alberto, when you said cranberries, you sounded like it was in your head, zombie, hey, what's in your... I couldn't help it. Tú lo has escrito así, eh? You got me there. You got me with that one. Oh, I love the cranberries. Vaya grupo. I love that that reference. Guys, when you do that, it makes me so happy. When I say an expression or something like that, and you guys say, esto es de esta anuncio, o de esta película, o de esta canción, that makes me very happy. You see this smile? That's because of that. So great job. And we've seen that a couple times today, varias veces hoy. So keep up the great work because we are off to a wonderful start. Hemos empezado con buen pie. Let's give you guys today's Say What soundbite, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back, and we've got so much to do in the second part of the show. So everybody grab a pen and a piece of paper and write this down.
Oh, he's fine. Such a good baby. He was a little fussy at first, and we just gave him some French bed pizza. Passed right out.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Curious, interesting voice. I would say that just to start things off. But this is perfect. I'm going to give you guys some time to think it over, think about what you want to say. And then when we come back, I will play this for you a second time. So, folks, you know how this works. We'll be back in 2. So, stick around. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, after today's show, you got Jules Linares and her program, Let's Get Random. Took me a second there. Tardé un poco ahí. Let's Get Random. Great program. You never know what area you're going to delve into with Jules. And then you can have lunch with Andrea Vaughn. What a lovely lunch it is. After that, you've got Tosh Pasqua and her program Back to Basics. But don't let the name fool you, because she will put you to the test. Then we got Guy Williams with Western Civilization. After that, I don't know if I'm going in order here. It's a miracle I remember them all. The Salad with Dave Boyes. The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez. We've got Speaking Football with Tommy Hay and Ruben Palomero. And, of course, we've got No Excuses with Fitz. The Pro Bow Show with Rob. And I think that's all of them. What do you guys want? More English shows? Folks, if you want access to all of these programs, all you have to do is download our free app. And of course, all you've got to do there is just press play, or you can find past episodes, or you can listen to them wherever you listen to podcasts as well, which as for me, I'm a podcast listener. That's, I don't listen to, I'm lying. I listen to the radio when there's a soccer game on, o sea, el directo de un partido, but the rest of the time, because some days I can listen in the morning, some days I can't. So it's a matter of when can I get a little moment to listen to a podcast? And this way I can do other things. Sometimes, I'm shaving, or I'm, washing the dishes or something like that. All right. So my amigos, we've got so much to do here on the show with no name. So let's get right back into it. I've got to give you guys today's Say What here for the second time. And I'd love to hear your observations, but please dot your I's and cross your T's. Here it is, folks, the second listen of today's Say What soundbite. Please write down what you hear.
Oh, he's fine. Such a good baby. He was a little fussy at first, then we just gave him some French bed pizza. Passed right out.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. You're going to hear that an additional 2 times, so we'll see how you do on that one. Let's see what you guys had to say about that, your feedback, your observations in our chat room. Also, Hola Caracola says, hey, Double A, could you say, I don't think it is worthy? Yes, it's grammatically correct, but it sounds very forced to me, to my ear. That doesn't mean, again, remember, I'm not the source. I speak English from the Northeast of the United States, and that's how it sounds strange to me that way for some reason. But again, great question. Excellent. U Channel says, Alberto, you should have people on your show like the Wild Project thing. I don't know what it is, the Wild Project thing. It sounds like with animals. I love animals. If it has to do with animals, let's do it. I just don't want to get attacked on the air. Do you know the show? No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with the show. And U Channel says, I like your setup. Thank you. I've been working on it little by little, it takes time and effort and all that stuff. So thank you very much. And yeah, I love to collaborate with all kinds of people. The only thing is what it holds a lot of people back. Lo que detiene a mucha gente en este caso is their lack of English. I don't know if these people speak English, the wild people, but sure. If you speak, the only way that I can have you on the show really is for speaking English, because if it's a Spanish interview or a Spanish chat, then it's the wrong format for it. So that's because so many people I know, you guys know, I know many, many famous people here in Spain. And a lot of them are like, I'd love to be on your show. I'd love to be on your podcast, but I don't want to make an ass of myself. And I'm like, you sound great. And they're like, no, but people are going to laugh. And so it happens a lot. That's a reason sometimes we're limited with the people that we can interview or chat with, because you have to have at least an intermediate to high. I would even say high intermediate level. Because let's put it this way. If I'm interviewing you and I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bob Guccione. I'm saying, a name. And then I'm like, he's a the editor of Penthouse magazine, and then I'm like, welcome, Bob, and he's like, I am happy to be. just imagine that one. So that's the only condition. But sure, if you think it's a good match, thanks for the heads up, el aviso. Hector says, good morning, Mr. Alberto. What's up? All right, let's see. Elena's participating in the Say What soundbite. Let's see what she has to say. She says, I heard a woman in a high-pitched voice. Excellent vocabulary. High pitch is like Mickey Mouse kind of thing. Commenting on the way she comforted a baby. And to comfort is, oh, come on, it's okay. To console or to comfort a baby who was a little fussy at the beginning. I was going to give you a totally native there for the high pitch and understanding fussy, but you're missing a period at the end. So are you finished, or do you want to say more, or are you left me hanging? Elena, it's lovely, but I don't know if you're done. So see why periods are important? Do you want to tell me more stuff? Because right now you left me, I don't know. Maybe it's a question. Is it a question? Are you asking me? So again, the importance of punctuation. Have you ever seen that? There's a famous meme that you say meme, we say meme, that's going around. Well, it's been going around for like a decade now, I would say. And it's let's eat. It says commas save lives. Las comas salvan vidas. And you have let's eat grandma without a comma, que es vamos a comer a la abuela. Let's eat grandma. There's no comma there. Or let's eat, comma, grandma. See, so it says, the funny thing is, las comas salvan vidas. They save grandma. Not the same to say, let's eat grandma, then you're a cannibal, right? As saying, let's eat, comma, grandma. So the importance, are commas important? Do you want to eat your grandmother? Okay, I didn't think so. Leonardo says, this lady is saying that a little boy is fine and well behaved. Absolutely. Although he used to be fussy, antes, en algún otro momento, él estaba quisquilloso, I think you say, for fussy. You can say fussy or picky. But once he had a pizza, el momento que tuvo una pizza, que se comió una pizza, well, everything started to work out fine. Hey, wait, Leonardo, that's my life story. I could be having the worst day ever. And then I make a pizza, because we make pizza sometime, or I order a pizza, crack a beer, and everything just for some reason works out fine. So, Leonardo, it's not only a good observation, it's my life's philosophy. All right, let's see. Jesus Mendoza says, hi from Zaragoza. Wow, what a lovely city that is, Zaragoza. I've got a good friend who lives in Zaragoza. Well, he lives in a town outside of Zaragoza. And you might know him if you know about Minecraft and gaming. He doesn't just do Minecraft, but he got well known for playing Minecraft. And I think the name is Minecraft Zaragoza, if I'm not mistaken. Well, every time I go to Zaragoza, I look him up. Look him up, le pego un toque, le busco, no? And he always takes me out. We go get some beers and stuff like that. And he's definitely a great tour guide. I love Zaragoza. Beautiful, beautiful place. And clean air, right? Is that what they say? Zaragoza is a place with very clean air, if I'm not mistaken. All right, well, guys, unlike Madrid, sorry, madrileños, but we got to call a spade a spade. Hay que llamar las cosas por su nombre. All right, it's time to move on now to today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, folks. It's time for today's Spelling Bee, and this is probably one of the hardest parts of the show. But don't worry if you don't get it on the first go. In fact, even people who usually get it on the first go usually have a little mistake in there. So we rarely have a day where somebody gets it on the first go 100%. Okay, we very close, but again, we're sending rockets into space here, as my grandfather used to tell me. You know, and I always tell you this story. When he would have me write the addresses on the envelopes, right, in his pharmacy, when he would have to, send out a check, un talón, to pay one of the pharmaceutical companies or something. And he would say, you see that address there? You got to copy it there. But exactly. Like if one number is wrong, he goes, that the rocket will not go to the moon. It won't make it to its trajectory. And I'm thinking, rocket to the moon? He's like, well, same thing. If you're programming something and putting it into orbit, everything's got to be, perfect, or else it can be deadly. We've seen that. I can't remember if it was NASA or it was with the space station. Maybe you guys will recall. But there was a time, I think they were trying to send something into orbit, and they put it in kilometers instead of miles. Like there was a mix-up in the conversion, and it didn't work. And, well, logically, right? It's not supposed to work if it doesn't have, a plane. When a plane takes off, it looks like magic, right? Totally looks like magic. But that's a scientific calculation. That's like V1. At this speed, the lift es lo que levanta, esa fuerza que levanta el avión that goes from under the wings. That lift, so and it depends on the plane. It depends on the weight of the plane, depends on the speed, the length. So there's so many things. And if it's wrong, you're not getting off the ground. And that in an airplane, that can be deadly. We already know that. So that's why I myself am a stickler for precision, for accuracy. I strive for it. Me esfuerzo por ello. Now, there's no such thing as perfection, but we got to at least, that's our goal. So Are you guys ready for today's spelling bee? I got to find my bell here. Now I've got a boxing bell. Here it is. This is round one. These are all names. I'll give you that. These are all names, so they will begin with a capital letter. The first one is Lilliput. The second one is Brodingnag. The third one is Laputa. The next one is Balnibarbi. The next one is Luggnagg. And the last one is Glubbdubdrib. Okay? Okay, guys. 6 names I just gave you. I'm going to give you another round. Don't worry. I went really, really fast there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. German says, what if instead of spelling bee, te falta el of, we went spreading bees? Just kidding. I don't get the joke. I'm sorry. It went over my head. No lo pillé. Spreading bee. Is it an idiomatic expression I'm missing? All right. Hang on a second here, guys. We have got our buddy here, our good friend Born to Iron Man, who's taking a stab at today's spelling bee. And folks, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we've got a winner. Please give it up for your amigo, Born to Spelling Bee. Impressive. Absolutely impressive, dude. I mean, seriously, I'm telling you right now, I'm being straight with you. Estoy siendo franco contigo. I don't think I could write it down that fast. We should try it one day. Un día debería, at the trivia night, quiero que me hagáis un spelling bee. I'm going to see, like, okay, you want to put us to the test now? But remember, at the trivia night, I'm going to be putting you to the test again, okay? Not just in your English, but in your history knowledge, geography. Again, we're going to do a little bit of everything, okay? All right, so let's give you round 2 over here. As I said, I didn't expect too many people to get it on the first go. I don't think I could get it, but that's why you have a second chance. So let's get ready for round 2. I just put in my dentures, los dientes de boxeador. Here we go. The first name is Lilliput. The second name is Brodingnag. The third one, Spanish people are going to find really funny. I was cracking up. Yo me partía cuando lo estaba preparando. Mira, because I'm so mature. Laputa. The fourth one, Perdona. Tercera no puedo. Okay, the fourth one, Balnibarbi. The fifth one is Luggnagg. And the sixth one is Glubbdubdrib. Whoo. Now, I didn't know these names personally. I've heard of the book that it comes from, right? From the novel. The novel is very well known, and I remember reading it as well. But I didn't remember any of the characters. So these are all characters from a novel. And what is that novel? Well, series of novels, I should say. Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's, ¿cómo decís vosotros? Los viajes de Gulliver? In English, it's Gulliver's Travels. Or do you want the full name? Te doy el nombre completo. Okay, this is hold on to your hats. Travels into several remote nations of the world in 4 parts by Lemire Lemuel, excuse me, Gulliver, first a surgeon and then a captain of several ships. That's the title. So yes, it's Los Viajes, me imaginaba. Los Viajes de Gulliver. That's right, folks. And this is a classic. The author's obviously Jonathan Rapido. What? Yeah, Jonathan Rapido, Jonathan Swift. I wonder if he's related to Taylor Swift. Okay. All right. Fine. Also, a swift is a kind of bird. It's like a swallow, como swallows golondrina, I think. Swallow, vencejo salangana. Never heard of that one. Well, they say it's like a swallow, que es tragar. Golondrina. Hey, see, I remembered that one. So, espera, ¿me estás diciendo que me tragué una golondrina es I swallowed a swallow? Yeah. And that's a bitter pill to swallow. Toma expresión. Eso es un jarro de agua fría or something. Es una pastilla amarga para tragar. Como, es un golpe que nadie quiere recibir esa noticia, right? That's a bitter pill to swallow. Hey, that could have been a triple trouble. Swallow, tragar, swallow, golondrina, la expresión, a bitter pill to swallow. But it's not time for double trouble. Let's take a look at these names here in Gulliver's Travels. The reason I chose Gulliver's Travels is because the novel came out today in 1726. Now, there's one thing here that because my students always say, Alberto, I want to read the classics. I want to read Much Ado About Nothing, Mucho Ruido y Pocas Nueces, Shakespeare. But then, I always advise against it. What? Que no leas Shakespeare? ¿Quieres hablar el inglés de ahora o Victorian kind of Elizabeth? Okay, well then don't. Read Shakespeare to be entertained. Okay? Don't read Shakespeare to learn English. Not the English. If you walk around saying, what hath you done with thine, and people will literally look at you like, this person needs to be locked up, man. This person thinks that they're doing Shakespeare in the park. So Gulliver's Travels was published today in 1726. I mean, I would recommend, of course, read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but don't go too far back. Because if you go too far back, you're going to get language that's just not going to help you. And you're going to have to learn like another language. I remember when I used to have to read Shakespeare things in high school. And I would be like, Mom, what did he just say? Because it's not she would translate it into the vernacular, into layman's terms, in términos para cualquiera. Oh, German, great. German says, un trago amargo, tal vez. Oh, so same thing. Joder. Nosotros metemos lo de la pastilla, right? It's a bitter pill to swallow. Me encanta cuando es tan parecido. Let's see. Elena says, isn't travel more of a verb than a noun? When do you use it as a noun? Great question. I think it's in a formal sense. Okay. I would never say, enjoy your travels. That sounds like, again, Elizabethan. So at least in my neck of the woods in the Northeast of the United States, as you said, trip is the noun, travel is the verb. However, he had many, usually it's used in the plural too, like, he'll tell you all about his travels. So it's a very specific use. That's why I usually teach trip as the noun. And because also he's going on a travel. Nope, he's going on a trip or he's going to travel. Again, is it correct to say he's going on a travel? Possibly, but it sounds so fucking weird to me. So great question. Guys, these are wonderful questions. It shows that you guys are actively interested in improving your English. It shows that you care. So wonderful. Okay, our names then are Lilliput, right? Lilliput. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. En español sería Lilliput. Lilliput. La mejor otra vez es la tercera. Then we've got Brongdingnag. Brobdingnag. Again, I'll tell you something right now. These are not names you're ever going to hear outside of here. Okay, we say John, Tom, Chris, Mohammed, whatever, but not these names. You'll know if you name your kid this, I think you might be arrested for like cruelty, you know? So the third one, La Puta. I'm sorry. I can't. The whore. I mean, is that the name in the Spanish version? Because okay, maybe in the English version they won't get it. But La Puta. Que te parió. What's his last name? Que te parió. I'll stop. But how can you not laugh at that, right? Are you guys laughing with me, or do you think I'm just immature and I'm a child? Well, maybe you're right. I don't mind. I'm having fun. All right. The fourth one is Balni Barbie. Again, don't ever think of naming your children La Puta. Well, in Spain, I don't have to tell you you don't have to name your child La Puta. If you want that child to not be tormented by the other kids. So the fifth one is Lugnag. Lugnag. Man, if you name me that, I would seriously, man, I would, I don't know what I would do. Lugnag? Lugnag Alonso? Present teacher. Can I call you Lug? No. To lug es como transportar algo, que arrastrar, transportar algo. If I use the word lug, I got to lug this stuff to my apartment. It's como tiene la connotación, the nuance of that it's heavy, right? Or not easy to carry. And the sixth one, let's see if I can pronounce this one. Glub dub drib. Glub dub drib. Look at that, folks. Unbelievable. Again, don't worry about learning these words. They're not really common, but Gulliver's Travels, obviously a very famous set of novels. Let's see. Christian. Sorry if I mispronounced it. Hello from Australia, from Oz, from the land down under. Oh, man. Can you share a picture? She's like, I'm looking at a brick wall. Well, obviously, Australia is high on my list of places I want to visit. I think that's most people, right? Who doesn't want to go to Australia? It just seems like an amazing place. And all the Australians I've met, at least in my experience in New York and in California and in Madrid, awesome people, fun people, the life of the party, el alma de la fiesta. Folks, we have to go to our second commercial break. I can't believe it. We'll be back in 2 minutes with tons more, so stick around. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. All aboard, amigos. I hope you are enjoying today's program. Remember, if you want information about any of our courses, any of our materials, you can go to our website. It's grupovon.com. Or you can contact us on social media. Or give us a ring. Danos un toque. 911-385831. Remember, you can reach us all day long. Okay, if you write us at 4 o'clock in the morning, no one's going to answer you until the next day. But if you want information about our courses, you want information about books, remember, you got two different places. You got Grupo Von, which is where everything is. You can find the radio there. You can find everything. And then you've got Von Tienda, which you can find on Grupo Von, or you can go straight to Von Tienda if what you're looking for is materials. And remember, my second book, this book is my third book. I get confused. My third book, this book is the Remilk, has been renamed and re-edited, same content, but now with audio and a new title. And obviously the audio brings in additional content because I talk about, with Damian, we talk about what's in the book, but at the same time, we also go on little tangents as well. So you'll learn additional stuff. You can find it at Von Tienda. It's called This Book is the Milk 2. And as I said, also, if you really want to take your English to the next level, you're going to want to check out Von Town. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Von Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Von Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Von Town. All right, folks, there you go, Von Town. Plus, we've got everything, anything you can think of. And if not, let us know. Say, hey, why don't you guys have something for this target, for this, for this kind of student, for this schedule? Because a lot of the things that we've done here at Von, the company has grown very organically. You can talk to Richard Vaughn about that. So a lot of the ideas that we do now, including Von Radio, were suggested by people. Say, hey, why don't you could do a radio station where you teach English. And somebody said that to Richard Vaughn. And since Richard Vaughn's the kind of guy who says, oh, yeah, we can, let's do it. So the rest is history. You're listening to Von Radio right now. We've been here. We're a staple in Spain, a staple. I'll go by. People know the moment I'm like, oh, yeah. Everybody, which is awesome. It's a great feeling. I don't think I'll ever get used to it because, people make you feel really nice. How many times I've gotten in a cab and people say, oh, dude, I listen to you. You're funny, man. I'm like, oh, thank you. And one time it happened with my mom. I don't think I could have been better. Not one time. It's happened with my mom a couple times where I've gotten recognized, or somebody said, hey, dude, I like, people are very nice about it, because it's different. I'm not like a celebrity. I'm an English teacher. You know what I mean? So it's not like, oh man, you're fun. It's more like, oh dude, I'm learning a lot with you. And people tell me their stories. And I get it in person. I get that feedback. And I also get it on social media. You guys are always writing amazing comments. In fact, I'm due, eso es que me toca, I'm due to read some comments. I'll do it next week on the show because I've received a lot of wonderful comments in the last couple weeks. You guys seem to really be enjoying my videos. I've been making these short little snippets, recortes of English. They're little 30-second classes. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I should say my wife is on TikTok. She's running that one for me. But and it's funny, now I work for her. She's like, I need more videos. I'm like, okay, all right, coming up. Oído, cocina. You know, you can say heard, chef. Decimos chef. Oh, buenísima serie. By the way, you guys want to see an awesome, fucking awesome series? It's called The Bear. And it's about restaurants. And I worked in restaurants for many years in New York. And my wife was like, wow, they get really aggressive. I'm like, oh, this is nothing. I'm like, the pressure is on. Y de hecho, de ahí tenemos la expresión, if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Si no aguantas el calor, la presión, la tensión, no te metas en la cocina. Esto no es para ti. All right, well, folks, we're going to put on a little pressure now. We're going to turn up the heat, but not too much, because it's time for today's homophones.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. Show with no name. Show with no name. Show with no name. Show with no name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, my amigos. It's homophones. All right, well, I'm looking over here in our virtual chat room, our virtual class, and Jay Lima says, I have this book is The Remilk, signed by the one and only Double A. Well, I got to tell you something, Jay. That's a collector's item now. Seriously, I'm not saying because of my signature. I'm saying the book you can't buy that book right now. And then if it's got a signature on it, keep that, baby. And I'll tell you what, Jay, next time I see you, I'll give it a stamp. You see my mug over here that says Alberto Alonso approved? That's originally from a stamp, un sello. So if you come to the book fair this year, or at the feria, at the trivia night, I'd be more than happy to. I'm going to remember. I got to remember to bring my stamp, because if you have the signature, it's great. But then you just, you get that stamp and it seems official. I've always wanted to be a civil servant. Siempre he querido ser funcionario. No, I'm joking, because of the stamp thing. All right, let's take a look at today's homophones and see what we've got. The first word we're going to take a look at is sapo, right? So it's kind of like a frog, but it's different because it has a different name. Sapo rana, right? So sapo, okay? And the second one, okay, and this is a tough one to explain here. Llevado en grúa. That would be, okay, so you'll see this one on the streets of New York. We'll say remolcado, llevado en grúa, arrastrado. Okay? So pone en Nueva York, it says on the street signs, if you park here, you will be, okay? Eso es la palabra que busco, remolcado, llevado, que se te llevará la grúa, traducción. Okay? So I want to know what these two words are and if they sound exactly the same or not. And in the meantime, let's listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time.
Oh, he's fine. Such a good baby. He was a little fussy at first, and we just gave him some French bread pizza. Passed right out.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That was the third listen. Hopefully somebody will get it. I don't think it's too tough today. I mean, this person speaks pretty clearly, IMO, in my opinion. All right, let's go on over to our homophones. I've given you guys some time to think it over, and let's see what you came up with. The first one to participate is our buddy Born to Iron Man. And he says, those are the correct words. Great job. And he says they sound alike. Interesting. Elena, let's see if she agrees with him. Elena, those are the correct words. And she says, I dare to say they are homophones. Me encanta. Elena doesn't like periods today. No sé, ¿sigues o paramos ahí? O I don't know. O es pregunta. I dare to say they're homophones? I don't know. Me gusta el dare to. Me atrevo, right? Another way, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to take a wild guess. Punto. All right, let's see what else we've got over here. German agrees. Those are the two words, and he says yes, they're homophones. J Lima agrees as well. Wow. Is it unanimous? Anybody over here? Anybody think these words don't sound the same? Because right now I got like 6 or 7 people saying that they sound the same. All right, well, we're gonna settle all doubts right here. The first word is toad. Toad. It's interesting is that OA, which sounds like O, toad, boat, right? Same O sound, toad. And you know what? I'm curious. Let's ask Google here. Difference between a frog and a toad. There must be some kind of difference. Okay, here we go. Google, thanks for your help here. Frogs have long legs, longer than their head and body, which are made for hopping. ¿Te acuerdas antes vimos a hop, skip, and a jump? Está al ladito. Pues that's what frogs do. And bunnies, they hop, right? So frogs have long legs, longer than their head and body, which are made for hopping. Okay, I got it. Got an image in my head. Toads, on the other hand, en cambio, have much shorter legs and prefer to crawl around than hop. Oh, see? All my life. I've seen both of them. I've never knew the difference there. Frogs have smooth, somewhat slimy skin, and toads have dry, warty skin con verrugas. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. There you go. See that, guys? We're learning some biology here. So frogs versus toads. One of them, toads are like the fat cousins. Oh, no. Am I going to get in trouble for fat shaming toads now? You know, they're the ones with the dry skin, you know, short, stubby legs, and they don't hop. They just, roll around. All right, so toad. And the second word comes from the word tow. So I'm going to tow your car, okay? I'm going to call a tow truck, un remolque, una grúa, you say. I'm going to call a tow truck, and we're going to tow your car. Your car will be towed. Okay, se llevará en grúa. If you park here, it will be towed. And J Lima, excellent job, J Lima. J Lima's given us both of them in a sentence. So I'll just read this sentence, and then we'll see if they sound the same or not. My car was towed because I ran over a toad. Absolutely. Great job, amigos. Fantastic. Lo habéis hecho de película. Speaking of película, it's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And don't forget, today's show is sponsored by Kinépolis, my favorite place to check out a flick, para ver una peli. I love it because I can watch them in English. My wife loves it because she's got the subtitles, and the seats are cozy, muy cómodos. And well, I just love the movie going experience and the audio too. I pay attention to this. I don't know if you guys do. Some people I imagine do, but since I work with audio, I'm always listening to things. I listen very carefully. I'm like, oh, the audio in this. I've been to theaters where I'm like, the sound is just not right. And I've never had that experience at Kinépolis. The opposite. I'm like, whoa. That was intense. In fact, today's movie that we're going to look at, I saw at Kinépolis, one of the Kinépolis in Madrid. Okay, so here we go, folks. Should I give you the trailer first? Yeah, I'm going to give you the trailer. And then we'll take a look at a scene from this movie. I love this movie. Freaking love it. Okay, absolutely freaking love this movie. All right. A mentally troubled stand-up comedian embarks on a downward spiral that leads to the creation of an iconic villain. Whoa. Awesome. I'm into it already. So a mentally troubled, he's not really stable. He's unstable. Tiene muchos problemas mentales. Stand-up comedian, un cómico, embarks on, and to embark on a trip is, I think, emprender might be the word. Embarcar, lanzarse, embarcarse en un proyecto, right? Embarks on a downward spiral. Now, a downward spiral es una espiral hacia el infierno. Downward, hacia abajo. And a spiral es una espiral, o sea que va en caída libre. Bueno, no es caída libre, es en espiral, but you know what I mean. I think you probably might even say the same thing. A downward spiral that leads to, que lleva a, leads to the creation of an iconic villain. And Jay Lima's got it. It is Joker. Love this movie. Oh, man. Maybe it's because I'm a Joaquin Phoenix fan. Maybe because I like darker movies about people. You know, because this is, yeah, there were the capes and the costumes, but this was more about like the emotion. Like, you know, I love this. And the second one's coming out. Well, it's not coming out yet, but right now it's got a title. It's called Joker, Folie à deux. I don't know what that means. Something two in French, right? Folie, paper, folie à deux. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I loved this movie and I want to see it again. I told my wife the other day, I was like, you know, that's one of those movies that like when you see it a second time, you catch different things. So the first time you're just like into it, you're just catching it. But when you see it a second time, you're like, oh man, did you see it? Now I get why he said, you start connecting the dots, uniendo los puntos, no? So the movie came out in 2019. It was controversial, which makes no sense. They're like, there's blood in it and there's violence. It's like, have you seen the Avengers? Have you seen like Saving Private Ryan? Have you seen Schindler's List? That's not violence. What's wrong? Why is this violence different? Right. So I didn't get that. I was like, I love how the mainstream media picks and chooses what kind of violence is okay for us. Right. They're like, no, this one's okay, but not that one. You hypocrites. All right. Don't get me into the mainstream media. They're all paid shills. Right. In the end, you say what I tell you to say, or you're fired. Right. Okay. Well, that's you're paid to give a message that they want you to give. And if you go against it, you're not going to have a job there too long, right? Especially since your sponsors are all corporate interests. Oh, how interesting. Anyway, let's get into, well, this movie deals with that too. It deals with a lot of the problems of our day and age. I mean, you know why people didn't like it? It was a mirror, un espejo. Look at the society we're creating. You like it? Where people are lonely, they feel alienated. You like this? Is this what we're doing? That's the society we want for our children, for the future? So, I mean, the movie, in my opinion, has got a message behind it. Like, this is what happens when, you know, you don't get things together over there. Excellent, excellent stuff. So Arthur Fleck, that's his name when he's not the Joker. He goes, I heard this song on the radio the other day. Oí esta canción por la radio el otro día. And the guy was singing that his name was Carnival. Cantaba que su nombre era Carnaval. And the social worker, my mother's a social worker, trabajadora social, works with people and trying to incorporate them back into society and deal with their problems, right? Drug addiction, whatever the problems may be. So the social worker says, Arthur, and he interrupts her and he says, which is crazy because That's my clown name. Eso es mi nombre de payaso. At work, en el trabajo, until a little while ago, hasta hace muy poco, it was like nobody ever saw me. Era como si yo no existiera, nadie me viera. Even I didn't know if I really existed. Ni yo sabía si existía. So again, that idea of alienation. He lives in a big city and he's totally alone in his head and in his house, everywhere. And that New York, I'm telling you guys, I lived in New York. You can be alone and lonely in the biggest, it's surrounded by 14 million people. And there are many people in that situation there. And that's not good for your coco, as you say, your noggin. So then the social worker says, Arthur, I have some bad news for you. Tengo alguna noticia mala para ti. I have some bad news for you. And Arthur says, you don't listen, do you? He's fed up. Está harto del sistema, de todo. You just don't listen, do you? No escuchas, le dice a his therapist, the social worker. I don't think you ever really listened to me. Nunca me has hecho caso, ni me has escuchado, right? You just ask the same questions every week. Preguntas las mismas cosas semana tras semana. How's your job? ¿Qué tal tu trabajo? Are you having any negative thoughts? ¿Estás teniendo pensamientos negativos? All I have are negative thoughts. Lo único que tengo son pensamientos negativos, he says. But you don't listen. Anyway, I said, for my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. People are starting to notice. La gente se está empezando a dar cuenta, right? And interesting, right? So he's saying, I'm getting attention now that I'm doing negative things. I don't want to tell you the movie. You can imagine what those things are. But he's like, finally, people are paying attention to me. So he had to commit crimes and turn to a life of, really dark things in order for people to pay any attention to him. And the social worker says, they cut our funding. And this es una frase muy común hoy en día. Han hecho recortes, nos han cortado la financiación. They cut our funding. They're closing down our offices next week. La semana que viene cierran, chapan. They're closing down our offices next week. The city's cutting funding across the board, en todos lados. O sea, afecta a todos, across the board. Buenísima expresión. En todas partes. Okay, the city's cutting funding across the board. Social services is part of that. Está incluido en eso. This is the last time we'll be meeting. Esta es la última vez que nos vamos a ver. And he wasn't ready for that, right? Talk about a bitter pill to swallow. And he goes, okay. And then she says, they don't give a shit about people like you, Arthur. Les importa un bledo la gente como tú, Arthur. And they really don't give a shit about people like me either. Mira que honesta la tía. Nosotros no somos los importantes aquí. We're just... And then Arthur pauses and he realizes like, oh no, but I need my meds, mi medicación. And he goes, what am I supposed to do about my medication now? Who do I talk to? And she just looks at him and says, I'm sorry, Arthur. Lo siento, Arthur. So this is like him saying like, I want to get back, like, help me. And they're like, there's no money for people like you. There's no money for people like me in my profession, right? I'm not in one of these fancy professions. I'm a social worker. You don't get into social work because you want to be a millionaire, for example, right? If you want to be a millionaire, get into politics, and then have all these backroom deals. And you're not going to be a millionaire perhaps when you're a politician, but the moment you're out of office, you're on the board of all those companies that you helped, right? It's called the revolving door. Hay un nombre porque existe. So I know the movie was controversial, but isn't that what movies are supposed to do? Aren't they supposed to make you think and question everything you know, right? And entertain you at the same time? Well, that did that perfectly. So guys, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Obviously, when I say check it out, I mean in English. Because if you watch it in Spanish, it doesn't count. Guys, we have to go to our final commercial break. I can't believe it. We've got so much to do in the last part of today's show, so stick around. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, folks, right after today's show, you got Jules and Let's Get Random. And you got a brand new episode of FYI for your English, where we're going to take a look at cults, sectas. Oh, yeah. A dark chapter. Well, I figured, Halloween is right around the corner. Why not take a look at these cults, estas sectas? Remember, you can listen to For Your English wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts. And folks, we've got so much to do, so let's get right back into it with today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble only on the show with no name. And I see a lot of you guys are talking about Kermit the Frog, since we were talking about frogs before. And you guys said the chatty reporter. But it's funny because you say dichachadero or whatever that word is. Nunca me sale. Dichachadero. Oh, never going to say that. Charlatan. You say that word, but we say, this is Kermit the Frog, roving reporter, deambulante que se mueve por ahí. So interesting, different adjective there. It sounds, I guess in English, they did it because of the alliteration, right? Roving reporter. Another way to say roving is roaming. Roaming, como deambular, when you're roaming on your phone, right? So yeah, hasta leyéndolo, Born to Iron Man. Elena, dichachachero? Get the fuck out of here. You really want me to say that word? Like, you really think that's possible? Oh, my God. Why don't you say charlatan, man? Talkative, we say. We say a charlatan, pero lo pronunciamos diferente. He's a charlatan, okay? A charlatan. All right, so, folks, let's take a look at today's Double Trouble. This is a conversation over here, okay? So, para darle un contexto, okay? Te dije, remember, you have to use the same word twice, okay? Te dije que no fumaras porros. And the other guy answers, dijo la sartén al cazo. Mira quién habla. That kind of thing, okay? So, person A says, te dije que no fumaras porros, okay? And the other person answers, persona B, dijo la sartén al cazo. Mira quién habla. That kind of idea. All right? You have to use the same word twice. Also, we need to listen to our Say What soundbite here for the fourth and final time. I don't think anybody's gotten it yet. Here we go, folks. Good luck.
Oh, he's fine. Such a good baby. He was a little fussy at first, and we just gave him some French bed pizza. Passed right out.
Great words there, great vocabulary, and definitely an interesting voice. You know, you hear a lot of voices out there, but I know that voice would turn heads, right? To turn heads is, okay, that's interesting. It caught my attention. Let's see. Hector says, here from Madrid, driving a bus. What's up, Hector? How's it going, man? We have an expression in English. Get on the bus, Gus. Súbete al bus, Gus. Rima en español también. Okay, let's take a look here. Remember, today's Double Trouble. Te dije que no fumaras porros. Okay? And then the second person says, dijo la sartén al cazo. All right? Okay, let's see. German is the first one to participate. And German's going to take a stab at it. German, you've been doing a great job lately, I got to say. He says, I told you not to. La estructura perfecta, que es el negativo del infinitivo. I told you not to, okay, smoke pots Ok, Germán, te voy a hacer un ajuste ahí. Nunca lleva ese. Pot, in general. Ok. Porros, marihuana, pot. P-O-T. Que no se pronuncia pot. No es po. Es pot. This pot is hot. No es pot is hot. It's this pot is hot. Okay. So I told you not to smoke pot, sin ese. And the pot, okay, it's good, but you're missing a little bit there. Okay. The pot the expression is right, but it's not really. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what Elena's got. I told you not to smoke pots. Oh, interesting. Pones ese. Claro, porque okay. In English, no. It's always going to be T, right? Ending with a T and not an S. I told you not to smoke pot. Said the pot to the kettle, pero como no lleva punto, I'm not giving it to you. Why? I hate repeating myself. So thank you. Thanks for that. Let's see. Anybody else want to take a stab at it and like really do it? Like 100%? Anybody? I don't think it's that difficult. Now that we know it, all you got to do is put a period on the end and we got it all sorted out. All right. So I told you not to smoke pot. Te dije que no fumaras porros. And then the other guy answers, that's the pot calling the kettle black. Te faltaba el Germán, that's the pot. Because the pot calling the kettle black. So that's the pot calling, para que sea una frase completa, that's the pot calling the kettle black. And in Spanish, you say, dijo la sartén al cazo, right? It's saying you're being hypocritical, right? You're saying something that you do. It's like if somebody says to you, don't fucking swear. And you're like, hi? No digas putas palabrotas. You're like, hang on a second. Okay, so there you go, folks. I told you not to smoke pot, sin ese. That's the pot calling the kettle black. Excellent effort to all of you. Nobody got it 100%. We were very close. We were just missing a period at one point. But again, we're not going, if we're going into orbit and that period's not there, we're not going into orbit, unfortunately. So I was looking forward to it. Que a mí me gusta volar. I like to go into orbit. But if we don't have the right formula, we're not going anywhere. We're not going to get off the ground. All right, my amigos, we've already listened to our Say What soundbite for the 4th time. Nobody's figured that out yet either. All right, well, let's move on to another section called You're Joking.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. You're joking only on the show with no name. And with Halloween around the corner, I've decided to prepare a few different jokes for you. So today, you're going to have punchlines coming at you from every angle. All right, here we go. Joke number 1. If you get it, explain it. If you don't get it, don't worry. I'll explain it. What did the ghost buy at the bar? Okay. What did the ghost buy at the bar? Booze. ¿No? ¿Qué compró el fantasma en el bar? What did the ghost buy at the bar? Booze. Well, I could have said spirits. Hombre, ese tiene dos punchlines. He bought booze or he bought spirits. Me gusta, ¿eh? Hemos inventado un chiste ahí on the fly, sin pensarlo mucho. Do you get it? Anybody get it? What did the ghost buy at the bar? Booze. O otro que hemos puesto, spirits. I guess those words both have 2 different meanings. Let's see. Also, guys, it looks like we have got a winner here, and there's a period. Oh, my. Elena, are you okay? I don't want you to get hurt here. She even put a period at the end. Elena, see that smile? That's more like it. Ahora sí. Let's give it up for your classmate, Elena. Lovely. Great job on today's Say What soundbite. All right. And Elena's like, I'm going to make up for it, Alberto. Voy a poner puntos ahora, extra puntos. Elena says, haha, booze, like the sound a ghost makes, con ese, and booze like alcohol. Absolutely. So a ghost goes boo, which boo is abuchear también. Pero como acaba de decir Elena, booze, B-O-O-Z-E, es alcohol. So what did the ghost buy at the bar? Booze. Booze. O booze. Y el otro, spirits. Vamos a ver si pilláis lo de spirits también. Good. Lupe, you got it. Okay, good. You guys get the joke over here. Okay, the second one, spirits. Well, spirits are espíritus, evidentemente. But also spirits is hard liquor. O sea, ron, vodka, tal. Those are called spirits, right? A lo mejor porque ves espíritu, after you drink enough of it. So double joke there. Okay, and I got more. What do you think? I'm done here? I've got another one for you. What kind of horse do ghosts ride? ¿Qué tipo de caballo llevan los fantasmas? What kind of horse do ghosts ride? A nightmare. Well, they buy booze at the bar and they ride nightmares. Okay, well, obviously, nightmare es una pesadilla. But if we split the words, we've got night, que es noche, and mare is yegua o jaca. It's a female horse. M-A-R-E, la segunda parte de nightmare. Do you get it now? Born to Iron Man, I see you got it. Nice job. What kind of horses do ghosts ride? Nightmares. Pesadillas. Yeguas de noche. Okay, last one. I promise here. Here, well, I'm getting you guys in the Halloween spirit. You got a couple jokes that you can share around the office or share with your kids. Here's the last one. Where do ghosts buy their clothes? Y fijaos en esta palabra. Yo nunca pronunciaría clothes como TH. Para mí suena como cerrar. The clothes store is going to close. Para mí habrá gente que dice clothes. I've never said that in my life. Me cuesta la vida decirlo así. So they bought clothes at the clothes store. Ojito, es un truco para pronunciar clothes, ropa. Olvídate la TH, okay? So where do ghosts buy their clothes? At a boutique. A boutique. All right. Well, hey, guys, don't say I didn't give you a few options there. You've got some jokes to get you through this Halloween holiday. And now it's time to celebrate some famous birthdays. That's right, amigos. That's right. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And I can't believe that we've got 10 minutes left. So we're going to make every single second count. All right, every single second. So let's get right back into our famous birthday trivia with our first birthday girl. And she's got that Mona Lisa smile. Bueno, así se llamaba la película. She was also in my best friend's wedding. No en la boda de mi mejor amigo, pero en la película que se nombra así. She was in Runaway Bride, Novia a la fuga. Otra vez, no sé la traducción literal en español, lo estoy traduciendo como yo lo haría. Novia a la fuga, that was 1999. She was in Notting Hill, que no sé por qué he visto muchos españoles escribirlo Nothing Hill, la colina de la nada. It's not Notting, dos T's. What else? Erin Brockovich, how could I forget? Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean 75. No, bueno, 75 no existe. Charlie Wilson's War. That was another one. The Normal Heart. And, well, she's, I think, one of the most famous actresses in, at least in the modern day. And in the 80s and 90s, she was like number one at the box office. And even to this day, she's still respected. And I mean, Pretty Woman. I didn't even, how could I mention this woman without mentioning Pretty Woman, walking down the street, pretty woman, kind of like to me. I don't believe you. You're not the truth. No one can look as good as you. Mercy. Oh, man. The song, the movie. I've never seen the movie. I know. Many people say, you've never seen Pretty Woman? I'm like, okay. I've never seen Dirty Dancing either. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't like movies with adjectives and then noun. No. I don't know why, but I know they're classic and I know the soundtracks. Ojo, me conozco las bandas sonoras. You are the wind. No, that's the wrong movie. What's the one? Patrick Swayze. She's like the wind. Hungry eyes. One look at you and I give the skies I've got. Hungry eyes. I know all the soundtracks. I just haven't seen the movies yet. Vamos por pasos. But this woman, I mean, if you don't know who she is, you've been living under a rock, como decimos nosotros, because she's Aaron Brockovich. She's Pretty Woman. Okay, number 2, this guy's a Joker. Not in his life. He actually seems like a really serious guy. But he played the Joker. Many people have played the Joker, but I don't want to say my favorite because it's different. I don't want to compare Jack Nicholson's Joker, which was a different movie in a different setting. It's like comparing Christian Bale to Michael Keaton. Well, Michael Keaton was doing a different movie. It's a different energy. It's a different, the whole thing is different. Different director, different feel. Otro feeling que te da la película. But this guy, man, first time I saw him, I think, was Gladiator. I think that's the first time a lot of people, because he had done movies before that. But like in Gladiator, you know how I knew I loved him as an actor? I wanted to kill him. When I watched Gladiator, I was like, oh, I hate this fucking guy. I really hate you, man. Leave Maximus alone. Déjale en paz a Maximus. And that's how you know he did a good job. And he's been in so many things. He's been in Signs, Señales, The Village, Hotel Rwanda as well, The Master, and Joker, which he made the role his own. Just think about that. How many people have played that character? But nobody's played it like him, which just that in itself is remarkable. Es algo digno de mención. Solo el hecho que es difícil recrear un personaje que se ha recreado 1000 veces de una forma nueva y fresca, fresh, new, and he gave us that perspective. And last but not least, she was born in 1952. Her last name is Cazos. We were looking at that word before. Dijo la sartén al cazo. También su nombre sería Porros, pero con la S, como no se debería escribir, pero 2 T's, ¿ok? Por eso hemos mirado esa expresión. And she was in Pretty in Pink, Jumpin' Jack Flash. She was in Toy Story. She does Bo Peep in Toy Story. And most importantly, she was in Ghostbusters 2. She played Janine Melnick. Janine Melnick, eso. Janine Melnick, who was the secretary, la secretaria. I love her. She's got an amazing voice, and she's a very, very talented actress. All right, and folks, we've got a winner. It is Jay Lima. Excellent job. Number 1, Julia Roberts. Number 2, Joaquin Phoenix. You say Phoenix, we say Phoenix. And last but not least, Annie Potts. Y ya sabemos, no es Potts, it's Potts. Annie Potts. And I love her. Huge fan of hers. Huge fan of Ghostbusters as well. And this is the scene in the first Ghostbusters movie when she volunteers to watch the baby, okay, to babysit. And then her and Louis Skolnick, they start getting frisky, right? They start to get frisky, empiezan a toquetearse and get hot and heavy. And the baby's in the next room. And then she comes home and she finds them like with their, shirts all over the place and their hair all, and it's obvious that they were fooling around. So she goes, well, how's the baby? Where's the baby's in the room sleeping. This is Sigourney Weaver's role in the movie. And she goes, oh, he's fine. Está genial. Such a good baby. I love her voice. Such a good baby. He was a little fussy at first. Era un poco quisquilloso al principio. And then we gave him some French bread pizza. Parece que dice French bed pizza, pero it's French bread. Es esta pizza que se hace, pero en un pan, ¿no? Entonces pones un trozo de pan con tomate frito y esto en el horno. French bread pizza. Panini, I don't know what you want to call it. She goes, so we gave him some French bread pizza. Passed right out. Se quedó frito. To pass out is desmayarse, pero también es quedarse. So, oh man, last night I was so tired, I passed out. No es que me desmayé. O sea, tiene segundos connotación, quedarme redondo, ¿no? Me voy a la cama y no tengo tiempo ni de pensar, bueno, ¿qué voy a hacer? No. All right, so here we've got Annie Potts in Ghostbusters. Who you going to call? Ghostbusters.
Oh, he's fine. Such a good baby. He was a little fussy at first, and we just gave him some French bed pizza. Passed right out.
There you go, amigos. The one and only Annie Potts. And now it's time for our final section. Name that lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric. Name that lyric. Name that lyric. Name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And folks, as we wrap up the show, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your constant participation, effort, support, el apoyo. I mean, you guys are always telling me, oh, we love our, I mean, that's priceless. No tiene precio. So thank you for being awesome students. And I'm going to tell you the song since we only have about a minute or two. Just this way you can look it up and we can look it up together. The song is called The King of Wishful Thinking. Okay. And what is wishful thinking? It's buenísima saber esto. Wishful thinking is ilusión, deseo. So somebody says, oh, are you coming to my birthday? Oh, no, I can't, Alberto. Sorry, just wishful thinking. Era mi ilusión. Era pensamientos con deseos, we say. Wishful thinking. Mira, te lo doy en contexto. Sometimes it seems that world peace is just wishful thinking. And the song is called, I'm the king of wishful thinking. I'll get over you. I know I will, 'cause I'm the king of wishful thinking. Soy el rey de la ilusión. This is from Pretty Woman. It's a great song. The group is called Go West, Ir hacia el oeste. And let's look at the lyrics. I don't need to fall at your feet. No tengo que caer a tus pies. Just 'cause you cut me to the bone. Solo porque me has dado hasta la médula. And I won't miss the way you kiss me. Y no voy a echar de menos la forma en que me besas. We were never carved in stone. And if something is carved in stone or set in stone, es concreto. No, es así, es lo que hay. If I don't listen to the talk of the town, si no escucho lo que dice el pueblo, the talk of the town, lo hemos visto aquí, buenas expresiones, then maybe I can fool myself. A lo mejor puedo autoengañarme. And then the chorus, el estribillo. I'll get over you. Me recuperaré de ti. I know I will. Sé que lo haré. I'll pretend my ship's not sinking. Finjo que mi nave no se está hundiendo. I'll tell myself, lo diré a mí mismo, I'm over you, que me he recuperado, 'cause I'm the king of wishful thinking. Folks, thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure. Have a lovely rest of the day, and we'll be back with more. Let's go back to the 80s, baby. Come on. I don't need to fall at your feet, just 'cause you cut me to the bone. And I won't miss the way that you kiss me. We were never carved in stone. If I don't listen to the talk of the town, maybe I can fool myself. I'll get over you. I know I will. I'll pretend my ship's not sinking. And action. The show with no name is sponsored by Kinepolis.